Sit your ass down, baby, I don't wanna dance. I like it slow, baby, I don't like it fast. Tell me what you came to do.
Good morning, you guys. It is your girl Naësha here, and I am back on your screens for another video. I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to have you back. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. If it's your first time, thank you so much for being here. Hope you stay. As you can see by the title of today's video, today we're going to be touching on Love is Blind. I have been watching Love is Blind from the first season when it came out around COVID, and I've been watching it ever since. I think I missed a couple seasons because sometimes it'd be boring. Like from what I be seeing online, it'd be boring, so I don't even bother to watch. But this season is in Ohio, and I have been watching it, and I have so many thoughts. I have so many things to say, and I usually don't even dabble into things like that because I feel like everybody's just talking about it. When there's a new show, when there's like something in pop culture, everybody just jumps on it. So I'm just like, okay, well, everybody has already said everything that has to be said, you know. But then I remember this is my side of the internet, so y'all care. Y'all actually do care to have these conversations with me, and I care to have them with y'all. So I'm still gonna talk about it, even if a billion other people talked about it too. We're gonna be talking about settling, we're gonna talk about marriage, we're gonna talk about desperation, standards, and you know, relationships in general. If you are not watching Love is Blind, we have a beautiful sister on the show who's called Britney. Okay, Britney is a nurse. Yes, Britney is a nurse if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Britney is a registered nurse. She is 33 years old. She on the show fell in love in the pods with a man called Devonte. So Devonte, nothing positive to say about him. He doesn't look nice, he's not nice, he's not a good man, and you know, a lot of things also came out after the show, so I just stand on that. He's just not it. They fell in love, and as soon as they saw each other at the reveal, you could tell something changed. Something changed, because I don't want to make this about race or anything, but clearly that's a man who doesn't like black women.
It just so happened that she is a woman of color. You know, that's something I've never actually dated, let alone proposed to get engaged to. So that, you know, that was something that kind of surprised me.
We're not even gonna go into that. Whether he likes black women or he doesn't like them, the fact is he's not attracted to Britney. And as a viewer, it is so evident, like it's so blatant. He never says you're pretty. He never calls her beautiful. You know, when the man looks at a girl he loves, and you can tell like he's just thinking, damn, I'm getting to marry that, this is all mine. You never see that look in his eyes. Doesn't compliment her at all. The only time he compliments her actually on the show is when she asks for it, because she was like, you know what, you never tell me I'm pretty, you never tell me I'm beautiful, you never compliment me.
I don't like that you don't ever really tell me that I'm pretty, because I don't know if you're attracted to me. Like, you just compliment my clothes. Complimenting me, it gives me security, like that you find me attractive and you want me, and I don't always necessarily feel like you do.
Internally for me, I'm just like, okay, well now I don't want to, because like you're forcing me. Then I was like, well now I don't feel like it's genuine if I say anything.
And so he gave her a compliment. He said, you know, you have voluptuous lashes, your hair is nice. That's all he said. He never says you're beautiful. And the way he interacts with her on the show, you can tell this man does not like her. But regardless of all that, you have Britney here on the show who's like desperately in love. Britney is convinced she is marrying this man. She is convinced she's having his baby. They're gonna build a beautiful life together and live a happily ever after. And throughout the show, we learned that Britney actually bought a wedding dress prior to the show. So she just did that in an act of faith, which as a woman of God, I can understand it. Like, you know, it's an act of faith, but then again, I can't help but think, sister, it's getting a little desperate now, because there are many different things that you could have done as an act of faith while you're waiting for your marriage that don't involve buying a whole dress while you don't even have the husband. I'm 50-50 on that, because I understand what is an act of faith, and you just believe in something so much, and you believe that God will make it happen to you for you. But then again, I'm just like, it's giving a little desperate. So now you kind of have an idea of the dynamic of this couple. You have this man who's not that into her, and you have this girl who is all over him, very clingy, very like, my man, my man, my man, my man, my baby, my baby, my baby, my man, mi hombre, mi hombre, mi hombre. So this is the dynamic of this couple. And the problem for me with this show, and it's not even about the show, it's about the women on there, when they go on Love is Blind, it doesn't even matter who they end up with. Like, they just want to get married. As long as they walk out the experience married, that's all that matters. And these women are a reflection of the everyday girl. Girls all over the world have this mentality. As soon as they find a man, it doesn't matter what he does, it doesn't matter how bad or how good he's treating her, I'm getting married. I'm not leaving this one. Like I said, as a woman of God, I respect the institution of marriage. I want to get married, but I think that where we lost the plot is we are more focused about being married, saying I'm a wife, than being a wife to a good man, being a wife to a man who's a good husband to you. I'm not gonna lie, my goal is not marriage. My goal is to marry the right person. When your goal is simply marriage, like only marriage, you just want the title of a wife, this is when you lower your standards and you end up dating bums. You end up dating men who are not doing anything for you. You end up dating men who don't even like you for real. You end up settling for what you don't deserve simply because you want to be married. And this is totally the case of our sister here, Britney. The lady just wants to be married. And every season there's one woman who has this mindset. If you guys watched, I can't remember which season it was on, but Nancy with Bartiz, he did not like her. He was not physically attracted to her. He made that very clear. And she still got down to the aisle and said yes, because she just wanted to be married. And that's the same thing with Britney here. And what's really sad about it is when you watch the show, you see Britney realizing all those things. Britney talks about it. She talks about how you never compliment me. In her confessional, she talks about how she doesn't feel that he's attracted to her. She doesn't feel love. She doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, my man wants me, my man likes me. She talks about the minimal affection that he gives her. She talks about the lack of enthusiasm when he sees her or when they're together. As viewers, we saw it from the very beginning. And what kills me is that she also sees it because she keeps talking about it. But she is so blinded by the idea of being married and being a wife that it doesn't even matter to her. There was a conversation she had with Devonte where she was just like, you know, I've accepted that you don't talk that much, you don't show that much affection, you're never gonna be gushing over me, you're never gonna be complimenting me, and you know, I've come to accept that. I accept you as you are. And I just kept thinking to myself, like, sister girl, like, this is not how he is. That's how he is with you because he doesn't like you.
I know you're not somebody that's ever going to be like gushing over me.
Yeah.
It's like not your personality. Something that like I've had to come to terms with. That's not like how you show me that you think that I'm pretty. But I also know that that's not how you are.
I'm not gonna lie, watching their relationship play out in real time is extremely eye-opening because this is like a reflection of a lot of girls' life. A lot of girls are in relationships like that. For them, it's the physical attraction, but for some people, it could just be a man that just treats you poorly, a man who doesn't meet your standards, a man who you just settled for. There are many reasons why people settle in relationships, and I want to talk about 5 of them because I think they're the 5 main ones. Number 1 is the confirmation bias. The confirmation bias is the cognitive tendency to search for, interpret, favor, and recall information that confirms one's pre-existing beliefs or hypotheses. So basically, people look for evidence that confirms what they already believe or what they want to believe. And I think this is actually one of the main reasons why people stay in relationships that don't serve them anymore, because they hold on to the past. If that man was nice with you and he was the perfect boyfriend for like the first 3 months, you're gonna hold on to that. So that 3 months alone is enough for you to forget about the years of mistreatment, the years of no romance in your relationship, the years of abuse, just because of that 3 months. The same way somebody could say, I like you, I love you once, and you're gonna believe it and hold on to that. So even if they cheat on you, you're like, no, he loves me. He said that last time 3 years ago. He said he loves me. So the confirmation bias is when you highlight the good moments and you dismiss the bad. Even if the bad moments are 95% of your relationship, you're still gonna highlight that 5%. And let me just say this is not a video to bash Britney. I don't even know the girl. I really do not care to know her either. We're just having a conversation here. She is holding on to the moment, to the pause. And on Love is Blind in general, people do that all the time. Like, they keep talking about, yeah, but in the pause it was so good. In the pause, this is the man I fell in love with. You have a man in front of you who's treating you a certain way, and you're just stuck on the man in the pause. And throughout the show, you hear her say like, yeah, this is who I fell in love with in the pause. In the pause, he was like this, he was like that. But this is what you have right now. You have a man who doesn't compliment you, doesn't want to kiss you, doesn't want to hug you, doesn't want to talk to you, thinks you're too clingy and annoying. And that is the confirmation bias for you. The next reason why we settle, not me though, y'all settle in relationships, is because of the sunk cost fallacy. So basically, it's the phenomenon whereby a person is reluctant to abandon a strategy or course of action because they have invested heavily in it. Now listen to this. Even if it's clear that the abandonment would be more beneficial. Again, this is why people stay in relationships that are not serving them anymore, because you've invested too much, because you done went to hell and back with him. I was there for him when he was broke. I was there for him when he lost his mama, when he couldn't play basketball no more. I've invested too much. You've invested too much of your energy, your time, and your love, and you poured so much into something. Now you don't want to leave it, even if it's not serving you anymore. And again, if we go back to Love is Blind, it happens all the time. People are like, we came this far, we didn't come this far to not say yes at the altar. I didn't come this far to leave the experience. One recurring theme in Love is Blind is that people always say that they've told people in the pods things that people in their real life, their family, their friends don't even know about them. Like, they get to have these really, 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 really deep conversations. When you pour out your heart, you pour out your soul, you pour out who you are, the entirety of who you are to a person, it's hard. You're invested and you have invested so much of you. So it's hard to just say, listen, this is not gonna work. I'm gonna say no at the altar, or, you know, let's not even go to the altar. Let's just break it off now. Because you spent 2 weeks in the pods talking to this person 24/7. You done came all the way from Ohio, Denver, Atlanta, Boston, New York to go to LA and do this experiment. You wanna hold on to that, even if it doesn't benefit you anymore. So what happens is you tell yourself, like, I've come way too far, we've come way too far to just quit. You start thinking, no, it's gonna be a waste if I walk out, because now I done wasted 5 years of my life. I done wasted outfits going on dates. I done wasted emotions and time and all these things. So a lot of people decide to stay even if it's not even making sense. And along with that, let me add the fear of starting over. I forgot to tell y'all, but they didn't get married, okay? They didn't end up getting married because Devonte broke it off. Because listen, he's a man. One thing about men, they're gonna put themselves first. Don't care about your feelings, okay? Obviously, he's not attracted to you. He's not gonna get married to a woman that he's not attracted to.
Like, I can't walk into a marriage with like self-doubt of, can I love you how you need to be loved? I just can't do it.
They broke it off, and obviously she was here begging, like, you know, we're gonna still be together, we're still engaged, we're still gonna get married, just not now, just not today, but we're still gonna get through it.
Even though it's not right now, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be eventually. I'm 99% sure I'm going to get married to Devonte. We are supposed to be married. I feel like he is my person.
And in the confessionals, he's basically like, hell no, like, I'm out.
Is she my forever person? The more I'm like clinged on to, or the more I'm like pressured to do something, the like harder that I push back. She is sometimes like a shadow to me.
Britney, in her confessional after the breakup, she mentions starting over. She mentioned starting over, having to meet somebody else, and then now building a new relationship.
I think what I'm most fearful of is having to start all over. I'm fearful to have to be vulnerable with somebody else.
And that goes hand in hand with the sunk cost fallacy for me, because you have invested so much, and as much as you don't want to leave what you've invested so much in, you also are afraid to start over, because now you have to find somebody else. You have to find somebody else that you like and that likes you. And now you have to rebuild a relationship. You have to trust each other again. You have to meet each other's family again. You have to do all these things. So starting over feels very scary. So you feel more comfortable staying in something that doesn't serve you than quitting that and going to find something else. Not only something else, but something better. And let me add to that the scarcity mindset, where you think you're never gonna find anything better. There's a shortage of men. There's a shortage of men who actually want to treat women right. There's a shortage of men who actually want to be husbands and not only have a wife. The scarcity mindset will keep you in situations you have no business being in. And let me tell you something. There's always going to be better. There's always going to be a better job. There's always going to be a better man. There's always going to be a better friend. There's always going to be a better opportunity. There's always going to be a better city. There's always going to be a better car. There's always going to be a better house. There's always going to be better. So I never want anyone, any of y'all, to ever stay in something, stay in a situation, a relationship, a job, a car, a house, nothing. Don't stay in anything because you're scared that you're not going to find better. I promise you it's better out there. Of course, in relationships, there's also the social pressure to, you know, you're getting old, get married. When are you gonna have kids? You gotta be somebody's wife. You gotta do all these things. So it's also important that we take accountability as a society in understanding that, like, we are a part of the problem. Because we treat marriage as this trophy. We treat marriage as, oh, you made it, you're successful. As much as it is a win, I can't wait to be married. I can't wait to be married. But I want women to understand that not being married doesn't make you less than. You're not less of a woman or less of a good person because you're not married. When you put marriage on a pedestal, this is when you are most likely to stay in relationships, stay in situations that are not beneficial for you, don't serve you, you should have never been in the first place, just because you want to prove a point. And settling, especially in relationships, is just so dangerous, and I don't think women understand that, because your husband is the only person in your family that you get to pick. You didn't pick your mom, you didn't pick your cousins, your aunties, your children, you don't pick them. But your husband, you get to pick him. And you're gonna pick somebody who doesn't adore you. You're gonna pick somebody that doesn't call you beautiful. You're gonna pick somebody who doesn't want to do nice things for you. You have the options. Like, you could pick him. You maybe didn't have good parents, but you didn't pick them, so you just have to do with what you have. But a husband, a wife, you get to pick that. So take your time and pick him, and pick somebody who's good for you and who loves you and who's gonna treat you good. I would have loved for Britney to walk out on him, but sister is just so delusional, so desperate. Like, she's not seeing nothing clearly. She blinded. She's so blinded by love. I'm glad that Devonte was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that, because can you imagine the type of life she would have lived had she married Devonte? Can you imagine the type of life she would have lived? That's the man that doesn't call you beautiful. That's the man who doesn't want to kiss you. You always have to initiate physical contact. That's the man who barely even wants to look at you, for real, if we're being honest. She would have been so miserable in that marriage. As much as she wants to get married, I know that this is not the ideal marriage. This is not what she had in mind when she was thinking about marriage. By the way that this man is acting with her, you can tell there was never going to be no Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day was that, I don't know, no birthday celebrations. You were born today? Okay, good, congrats. What I got to do with me? Christmas presents, what's that? Girl, please get on my face. Nothing, no romance ever. She would have been so miserable. Like, it would have been such a miserable relationship, and I wouldn't even feel bad for her, because listen, sister, the signs were here. You saw the sign, you decided to ignore them for a title. So listen, that's the life you actually would have deserved. But I'm glad that he said no, because it just sounds so scary. It sounds so miserable. Like, a man who doesn't call you beautiful, what do you think? A man literally calling you beautiful is the bare minimum. Like, it's not even a bare minimum, because strangers do that all the time. Strangers will stop girls all the time to call them beautiful, men and women. And now your husband won't even do that for you? What kind of life do you think you guys will be having? And when I talk about settling with friends, I always say, like, I can't settle because I deserve the absolute best, and the absolute best exists. It does exist. And God even wants me to have the absolute best. I'm God's daughter. If you have children, think about your daughter. Think about your daughter and what she deserves and what you would be willing to do to give her the best of the best. I don't have children, but I just know for my daughter, I'm gonna try my best to give you the best. With the means that I have, I will still give her the best. Imagine God. God has everything in his hands. God is the child. God is the creator. So you think that God can't give you the best? You think that God cannot give you a man that is tall, a man that loves you, a man that loves your mom, that loves your family, that wants to go to church with you, that makes a lot of money, that wants to provide, that is funny, that is caring? You think that this is too much for God? Like, do you think that this is too much for God? I don't. And that's why I'm not going to be settling, because I know that what I want, exactly what I want, exists, and I know that God can give that to me. And that's not only in relationships, that's with anything in life. My dream job, I know God can give that to me. My dream house, God can give it to me. My dream career, my dream family, my dream life, God can give that to me. God can give me anything, and he wants the best for me as much as I want the best for myself. So why am I settling for? When you're settling, to me, it just says, like, you don't trust that God can give you exactly what you want, so let me just get this one, whatever. He's missing a couple of very important qualities that I'm looking for in a man, but it's whatever, because, like, I don't think that God can give me what I really want. I don't think God can give me a man that has everything I'm looking for. What are we doing? What are we talking about? I really wanted to talk about this because I'm a young woman who is eventually gonna get married, okay? Probably next year or by the end of the year, I don't know, but I know I'm getting married soon, and I know it's a lot of young women watching me as well, and it's a lot of young women watching this show, and I just think it's important that we have these conversations, because settling is never okay. And even if you are getting older, you are getting to your 30s, your late 20s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, do not be desperate. do not be desperate, and do not settle. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on all that we talked about in the comment section down below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hype this video up. Hype it up, please. Hype it up for your sister. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Naësha Joanna, and I will see you guys in my next one.
Sit your ass down, baby.